Whale Seeker has the ability to utilise WITS data within the program. This clip will run through the steps required to set up and use a WITS connection. The first thing you need is a WITS feed, which will usually be provided via the rig EDR system. In most cases, serial WITS will be provided via serial cable. As most new laptops do not have a serial port, the user will likely require a USB to serial RS232 adapter along with a null modem cable. Once the physical connection has been established, the user must now set up the software to properly receive and use the WITS feed. The first step is to set up the WITS mapping, which is accessed via the Tools menu on the main Whale Seeker interface. Whale Seeker's default record and field ID come from the WITS 0 standard. The user must ensure that all record and field IDs match those the WITS feed is being transmitted on, otherwise Whale Seeker will not be able to read the data correctly. Once this has been set up, the user should open the relevant survey and slide sheet. The WITS survey options can be accessed via the settings menu, and the user can make all the relevant selections they want relating to the survey data transmitted via WITS. Next, the WITS data reader can be accessed via the Tools menu. If serial WITS is being received, the user will be able to select the COM port from the drop-down menu. If UDP WITS is being received via an Ethernet connection, the user can enter the relevant port number. Save survey and toolface data will ensure this information is stored in the database, which allows the user to utilise the slide analyzer to evaluate the quality of the slide. Send data to server will push the WITS data back to the ICDS server every second, which then allows remote users to view and use the data remotely via their SQL Server database. Start reading will start the software looking for incoming WITS data. If any is found, it will be displayed in the main white window in the dialog. In order to ensure the data is pushed back to the correct well and server, the user must access the real-time data exchange dialog, where they must enter the IP address and port number of the ICDS server and select the relevant well via the drop-down menus. Note that the data exchange does not need to be started for the WITS data to be transmitted. The WITS feed can then be utilised to automatically populate the slide sheet, which in turn will then automatically update the DD dashboard. The rig state setting is where Whale Seeker determines the current rig states based on the WITS feed, and this in turn is used to populate the slide sheet. The minimum WITS input required for the rig states to operate correctly are weight on bit, RPM, total GPM, bit depth, hole depth, hook load, block position, standpipe pressure, magnetic toolface, gravity toolface, and the survey measure depth, inclination and azimuth.